Hello and welcome back to Tech Talk. I'm Graham Hughes, and if you know me, you know I just love a great value. There's nothing I like more than getting way more than I paid for. So I recently bought these Creative Pebble 2.0 desktop speakers. They're USB powered speakers. They have no separate power supply, and they're about $30 here in Canada, about $24 down in the States. So these are inexpensive USB powered desktop speakers. The question is, are these speakers just another set of cheapy USB powered speakers that nobody wants to listen to because they're tinny and completely lacking bass? Or is this maybe one of those products where you get way more than you paid for and the sound of these things might just blow you away? What do you think? Well, we're going to take a look into that on this episode of Tech Talk, and we're going to take a look at a simple and free way that you can vastly improve the sound of any set of speakers you've got attached to your computer. That's coming up right now, right here on Tech Talk. So these are my brand new Creative Pebble 2.0 USB powered speakers. Very cool little speaker, and I'll tell you how I came to have these. Originally I was using some Edifier MR3 monitor speakers, some good sized bookshelf speakers down here on this computer for doing video editing. But I honestly didn't like them. The sound was muddy. One of the speakers had a bit of a buzz to it. I really wanted to use them for editing my videos and getting my voice right. They weren't helping me much in that regard, so I got rid of those, and I brought my Creative T120 speakers down from my office, which is what I'm using now. They're far better. So that left me needing some speakers up in my office. And like most offices, my office is pretty cluttered. I've got two IP phones up there, I've got multiple monitors, I've got multiple computers, multiple printers. There's lots going on. I don't have a lot of desk space, and I certainly don't have anywhere to plug in another device. So what I was looking for when I went looking for speakers was I wanted something that was compact to fit on my desk and something that was USB powered so I didn't have to plug it into the wall. Now, and I needed something inexpensive because I didn't want to spend a fortune. Now, I've had inexpensive USB powered speakers before, and every single pair has been terrible. And they've always had the same problem. They're not loud enough, they don't make enough bass, and they sound tinny and hollow. I started looking around to see if anything has changed, and that's how I landed on these Creative Pebble 2.0s. Every review I read about these was really, really favorable, especially when you consider the pricing. So I thought, what have I got to lose? You know, for $30 here in Canada, $24 if you buy them on Amazon in the States. If they don't work out, I'm not really out a whole lot. So I thought I'd give them a try just because everybody seems to like them so much. Now, immediately taking them out of the package, there are some things I really like. First of all, I really like the simplicity. There's only two cords. There's a USB-A for the power, and there's your line in with a 3.5mm jack for sound. So you take these out of the box, you just plug that in. And those lines are hardwired into the back of the computer. There's no connections back here to go wrong. They just go straight in. And so there's nothing to go wrong there, and you can't misplace the cables. I also like that there's only one knob. This knob on the front is your power and your volume. That's all there is to it. There's no tone knob. There's nothing else. It's just on and off and two things to plug in. I also like the size of these speakers. If you look at this in my hand, this is a very compact speaker. It's only about 4.5 inches around, so it doesn't take up a lot of desk space. They're also quite attractive. You've got a flat black case on here. You've got sort of piano black around the inside of the face, the gold driver. They look really good. They don't look like you cheaped out and bought crappy speakers, and I really appreciate that because you don't want something sitting on your desk that just makes you feel bad about yourself, right? And this one doesn't really do that. It's an attractive speaker. Now, there are some design functions in here that have been made to help improve the sound quality. The first is that when this is sitting flat on your desk, you've got a 45-degree angle to the face of the speaker and to the driver. And that's just designed to direct the sound up toward your ears. Now, you might think that's a silly design thing and it doesn't really do much, but I can tell you this, when I had my Edifier speakers down here, which was a larger bookshelf speaker, I did notice that if I had my chair up and I was sitting up in the chair, the sound was different than if I had my chair down low and I was slouched down. The height of my ears compared to the speaker actually changed how the sound was. And when you're editing video, that was actually really hard to kind of deal with because you're not really sure what the exact sound is that you're getting. But because these ones are designed to sit on your desk at a distance that basically points the sound back at your ear, you're not going to have that problem. Plus there's only one driver, so you're not going to have that mix that you'd get from multiple drivers. The other thing that's neat about these speakers is on the back they have a passive radiator. Now, if you're unfamiliar with a passive radiator, I know I was, I had to look it up. Basically what it is, it's an unpowered speaker. So it's got a center section and it's flexible just like a regular speaker cone, but there's no coil, there's no magnet, there's no signal going to it. What it does is it takes the pressure waves made from the driver inside the case and amplifies it out the back to amplify the amount of bass that you get. It basically magnifies those bass notes with an unpowered extra speaker, and it's called a passive radiator, so that's a cool design function too. So I was really kind of impressed with all of this when I pulled these out of the box, because they're a good looking speaker and I can tell that they're designed in such a way to try to maximize the amount of sound that you're getting from these small speakers. So I guess the question now is, if we plug this into the computer, what are they going to sound like? I'm greatly encouraged by what I've seen, but how are they going to sound in real life? Are these going to do what I want to do? So let's get a computer up here on the desk. We're going to plug them in. We're going to see what they sound like. And we're going to talk about some things that we can do to improve the sound that are free and very easy to do. That's coming up right now. Now, during this testing, you have to keep in mind that the sound is coming out of my speakers and it's going through a microphone, through the internet, and out your speakers. So what you're going to hear, obviously, isn't exactly what I hear out of these speakers. There's going to be a whole bunch of variation. But hopefully what it'll give you an idea of is at least a little bit an idea of the clarity and the loudness that comes out of these things. These things are only 4.5 watts, well 4.4 watts total for the system. And I gotta admit, I am surprised at how much sound you get out of 4.4 watts. In my office, which is 120, 130 square feet, I can crank up music loud enough to be uncomfortable and I still have really good clarity. If you were to plug these speakers into a TV, I think you could probably fill a room that's maybe 200 or 250 square feet and still hear your TV quite clearly, but that's probably on the outer bounds. You'd have to have the volume up a fair bit, and then you're going to get a little bit of distortion. That having been said, these speakers go quite loud before they distort. If they're sitting on a desk and you're sitting at that desk, it's going to be uncomfortably loud before you really notice much in the way of degradation of the sound quality. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at a couple of YouTube videos here that's going to help us get an idea what these speakers are like. Now, for copyright reasons, I can't just show you anything. I mean, I'd love to play you some Night Ranger or some Van Halen or some Whitesnake, but I can't do that for copyright reasons. So we're going to take a look at one of my previously posted videos just to listen to how these things are when it comes to spoken word. And then we're going to look at some royalty-free rock music to give you an idea of what the music's like. So what I've done is I've put a boom mic on my camera. I've gotten rid of my wireless mic. So the camera's about, I don't know, 5-6 feet away from me. I've just got a compact little boom mic on it. You can hear my voice coming through it. You're going to hear what the speakers are playing, so you'll be able to compare the loudness, right? I'm speaking fairly loudly. I'm speaking up. You'll be able to compare it with the speaker, and I'll show you how loud these things will go. So first of all, let's start by playing one of my videos and see how it does for clarity and for sound volume. To end of support for Windows 10 that I think everybody needs to know about. And these decisions are kind of bizarre and I don't understand the rationale behind them. We're going to be talking about those decisions right now, right here on Tech Talk. So today I've decided to take a few moments to come down by the river here in my community. This is me talking via YouTube versus me talking in real life, and I think you can tell that of the city. The speakers are at least as loud as I am, and they're loud enough that I'd have difficulty having a conversation with somebody over top of them. And what I've got is got the speakers at about 3/4.
Windows made a couple of
Windows I got about
decisions,
70%
made a couple
right
of
now.
decisions about Windows that I find just absolutely bizarre. The first one is reported by Windows Central, and they published this article on their website. It says major backtrack is...
So what you can tell from that is that the voice actually comes out very clear on these speakers. Now, it's not the best recording track, I'll admit. I'm not the greatest audio engineer, but I can tell you this. I've used these on Zoom meetings, and they're the best speakers I've ever had when it comes to voice quality. They're really, really good. So that gives you an idea of how they sound for voice. Let's go to some instrumental rock music, and let's see how they sound there. As you can tell, this is pretty loud. Okay, so that gives you an idea on some instrumental how it sounds. You get some pretty good bass response. You get clear treble. The cymbals are good. The drums are good. Everything comes out really nicely. And I will tell you, one of the songs I like the most for testing speakers is Sister Christian by Night Ranger, because there's very clear vocals, there's some cymbals, there's a lot of bass, there's a lot of heavy drum, and it really gives you a sense of the balance between the bass and the highs on these speakers. And I can tell you, these speakers, the treble and the vocals come out very, very clear while still giving you decent bass. Now, I'm not going to tell you that these speakers are the equivalent of a $400 or $500 set you're going to get from Bose. They're not. They're a $30 speaker. They're a USB-powered speaker that sits on your desktop. But for being in that class, they're incredible. The sound that comes out of these is amazing. But you know what? There's a way to make it even better that's absolutely free. And it's by way of a little app that I found called FxSound. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to go to the Microsoft Store, and we're going to install FxSound. And I'm going to show you what this looks like. Now, FxSound is a neat little app, and what I really like about it, first of all, is that it's free, because you know me, I'm cheap. And the other thing is, even though it's free, there's no advertising, there's no in-app purchases, there's no trying to get money out of you after you've installed it. This is open source software, and I've been to the developer's website, and what they said is they sold this application for years and years and years. They're offering it now on an open source basis, and they request donations if you use the app. So if you download this app and you find it helpful and you do make use of it, do those guys a solid, give them a few bucks as a donation to help keep the development of this going, because as I'm going to show you, this app is brilliant. And it doesn't matter whether you've got these Creative Pebble 2.0 speakers, which, by the way, I'm thinking are very, very good speakers in their class. They're probably the best in their class. But FxSound as an app isn't just good for these speakers, it's good for any speaker. Because here's the thing, right now we're listening to these speakers, all I've done is I've plugged them into the computer and I've started playing music and voice. A speaker is only as good as the signal it's getting. And so your computer is going to give these speakers a very flat signal, because basically by default, when you look at an equalizer, computer runs everything out just flat across the equalizer. It's a very flat sound. So what we want to do is get some equalization going on to round out the sound a little bit and to make it suit the speakers. And that's what FxSound does. It's basically a software equalizer that helps in this regard. So now I've downloaded FxSound, and it's opened up for me automatic, and this is what the interface looks like. Now, I'm going to do a separate video going all into this application, all the different things it does, how to use it, etc. But just briefly, for these speakers, what I found works best is to go down to the volume boost setting. I turn the ambience down, because ambience, all it is adding reverb, a little bit of echo, and I don't see the need to do that. And as you can see here, the dynamic boost is cranked way up. That's just an extra volume control. I'm going to put that down to about 3. The bass boost is at 3. And you can see here at the equalizer, nothing's been really jammed. Like, I'm not putting in huge inputs to try to make up for deficit in these speakers. In fact, this most bass end, I'm going to put down from 3 to 2, because that's kind of where I preferred in the testing that I did before. So as you can see, we're +2, we're 0, +1 on everything. It's just a little bit of tweaking to make these sound better. So with that adjustment made, let's go back and listen to some voice and see how that goes.
Microsoft makes Windows 10
And the one thing about this application I forgot to mention is here there is a separate, when you install it, Windows takes that as a default sound output device. So in the application, you have to make sure you've selected the right device. So right now it's on my monitor. We're going to move this down to our speakers. There we go. And that should fix the problem.
So when I first read that, I thought that's fantastic. No more having to pay $30. No more having to back
hear
up
that
your
sound
computer to
boost
OneDrive.
kicked in.
Everybody's
So
just
there's a
gonna
little
get
bit of
another year
distortion.
support.
I've just turned the volume back
But
a little
alas,
bit on
there's a
Windows,
but.
and now you can hear
And
it
it
nice
says,
and clear.
but only in certain markets. So when I read the article, it's kind of interesting what's sort of happened with Microsoft here, and I've printed it out so I can, have the information down
And
here
you can
by
tell
the river.
there's plenty of volume. I've got
But
the
no Windows
volume here turned
Central
up to about
reported
3/4.
Microsoft is saying.
And
They've
now on
decided
Windows,
that anybody living in
that's
the
50%,
European Economic
and it's still
Area
plenty
is
left.
now going to be able to have another year of Windows 10 support.
So that's for voice. You can tell that there's plenty of volume there. If you're watching this on TV, etc., you could hear it in a pretty big room. Now let's check out the music, and you're going to notice a big difference. And again, because you're hearing it through my microphone and your speakers, it's not the same as being in the room. But what we're going to do, we're going to play the music. I'm going to play it with the equalizer turned on. And then this big red button in the middle basically just turns the equalizer on and off as you see fit. So I'm going to play it for a while with the equalizer on. I'm going to turn the equalizer off, see if you can tell the difference. Because here in the room, the difference is actually huge. So that's with the extras turned off. So there you go, there's your samples. And I think what you can tell from this is that FxSound application makes a huge difference to the quality of the sound. There's so many different settings. You can see I started out on the volume boost there, and I went to the bass boost. You can adjust things exactly the way you like. I am going to do a video where we go through FxSound entirely and go through all the little details. But that gives you an idea of what a change it makes to these speakers. And it would make a change to any speaker, but what impresses me most, and I've been playing with these for a few days prior to making this video up in my office, and when using it, the thing that I noticed is that when you start adding bass in through FxSound, these speakers are able to handle it. They can take quite a bit of bass without distorting and without sounding muddy. Listening to songs like Sister Christian, you still get the cymbals, you still get the vocals, but you get much more bass from the drums. And it just sounds a whole lot richer and a whole lot better. So by themselves, the final verdict on these speakers are this. If you're looking for a USB powered speaker that's super, super cheap, under 30 Canadian, under 25 US, you need something compact that fits on your desk, but you want sound that's good enough. You want sound that's super clear for doing Zoom and Teams meetings. You want sound that's loud enough to watch TV and movies. You want sound that's good enough that you can listen to music and actually enjoy it and not feel like, man, I wish the sound on this was better. These are the speakers to get. They're the only speakers I know of in this class at this price range that do all of that and do it all well. So I can't say enough good things about these. Every review I've read has been great. I gotta admit, I'm pretty blown away. You know, again, I want to be realistic. These are 4.5 watt speakers. They're USB powered. They're $30. They are not going to perform like multi-$100, Bose speakers or other major bookshelf speakers. But for the class they're in, for the size they are, for what they are absolutely brilliant. If you think these meet your needs, I wouldn't hesitate buying them. I think they're just a great, great option to have. When you add FxSound, unfortunately FxSound is only available on Windows, it's not available on Linux, but when you add the FxSound app, the sound you get out of this is really, really impressive. I highly recommend the app. I like the fact that it's free, I like the fact there's no advertising, and it's done on an open source basis. So there you go, that is my review of the Creative Pebble 2.0. Oh, and keep in mind that these speakers, they come as a family as well. There's a Pebble Plus version. It's a 2.1 speaker system, so it's these two speakers plus a subwoofer that is a total of 8 watts RMS. There's the Pebble V2 that instead of USB-A and a 3.5-inch jack for the sound input, it's just got a USB-C cable. So both the power and the sound go through USB-C. That's an 8 watt RMS speaker. And then there's the Pebble V3. It's the same as the V2. It's got the USB-C cable. It's got the 8 watt RMS, but it also has Bluetooth. So that's the whole family. 4 sets of speakers in total. They're all very reasonably priced. This is the least expensive of all of them. This is the Creative Pebble 2.0. So let me know what you thought of that. I hope you found that video helpful. I can't recommend these speakers highly enough. I just love them. If you're in the market, give them a check out. Check out some of the reviews that could be the solution for you. Leave your comments down below. What do you think of these speakers? Do you have any experience with them? Do you think they might be a speaker for you, or do you have other ideas about what you need? I'd love to hear from you. Again, I'm Graham Hughes. This is Tech Talk. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.